what's that? You're blocking? Too bad, get comboed. Blocking again, I see. No mercy, get comboed again. Now you're blocking on wake up? You know how this works. Get comboed anyway, but just harder now because you're in the corner. Jax and Katana have the most unfair setups in Mortal Kombat 1, and pro players have known about this for a while, but today I'm sharing this forbidden secret with the world. Everyone in the comments tells me they prefer my guides over my news videos. Well, if that's true, then leave a like down below and share this video with a friend. And without any further ado, let's begin. Okay, so let's begin with my favorite setup because it's just so easy, and look at that. The opponent is launched for a full combo. Yes, I got knocked down, but that doesn't matter. Watch again. Katana gets up way before Reptile hits the ground, and as a result, I can just get a combo going like nothing happened. Check it out. Bonk, bonk, bonk. Bonk, bonk, bonk. Look at that. 30% for an unblockable that is almost impossible to escape. So okay, how do you do this unblockable setup? Thankfully, the timing is quite easy. Just treat Jax like a button in the middle of the string. So do the first two buttons, triangle, circle, and then for your third button, summon Jax. And then just finish your string like normal, square, triangle. Put the whole string together and it looks like this. Once again, treat Jax like the third button in the sequence. And then finally, before the last hit, you want to cancel into EX Fancy Flick. Yes, that's the name of the move. This is called Fancy Flick. That's the name. And what makes this move fantastic, no pun intended, is that if the opponent hits Katana, the fan stays out as long as they don't hit her right away. And that's why this setup works so well. Even though Katana gets hit, the fan keeps going and launches the opponent for a full combo. It does good damage too, like 10% by itself. Once again, the timing on this setup is so easy. Just treat it like a regular string, but Jax is the third button in your sequence. As you can see, it's very cheap and almost guaranteed unless your opponent studies how to avoid it. And there are ways to beat it, one of which is to release block and crouch before Jax hits them. If the opponent does that, the EX fan flick will not hit them, and as a result, they don't get launched for a full combo, but they still get hit, so in a way, it's still unavoidable because they're taking damage no matter what. And outside of that, the opponent needs meter if they want to escape this setup, because there are actually gaps in Katana's string, so they can just armor out, but it's tough to time and also not guaranteed to work all the time. Or in other words, this setup is still extremely cheap, because unless the opponent studies it and actually goes online to find out how to beat this thing, it's gonna work every time. But real quick, just for fun, here's what you do if the opponent is armoring out of your setup. Instead of doing the entire string, just summon Jax and then jump over the opponent and do a raw air fan lift. If done correctly, it looks like this, and the timing is the exact same. Look at that, bing bang boom, still got a full combo, and if you want to spend bar, you can get even more damage. Now, of course, this setup also has an escape option, but your opponent's gonna constantly have to guess now, right? Are you gonna complete the string and go for this setup, or are you going to jump and go for a different setup? Unless the opponent has a move that hits on both sides of them, it's going to be tough to get rid of Jax and Katana at the same time. Because you have Jax in the front and Katana in the back, it's going to be really tough to deal with both of them. But okay, now it's time for the next setup, and the timing on this one is much trickier. You want to summon Jax first, and then right before he lines up with Katana, you want to do a Denian dance into air fan toss after the first couple of kicks. And that's why I did not show this setup first. It's actually quite tough to time, but hey, even if you mistime it, the good news is Katana does not get hit and the opponent still does get hit. Or in other words, you might not get a full combo, but you also didn't get hit, so that's good. Once again, the timing is really difficult. I don't even use the visual hints actually, I just memorize the timing. It's muscle memory at this point, but once again, you could try to watch Jax, see when he lines up with Katana, and then go for a Denian dance, but the timing is quite tricky. If you want to do something slightly easier, you can summon Jax and then immediately do a Denian dance, but then finish the string, and if done correctly, you'll be in the air when Jax smashes the ground, and then she'll kick the opponent with the overhead. It's awesome. You don't get a full combo, but even so, the timing is much easier. Just summon Jax and then do the whole string right away. And you might be saying, but Underdog, that setup leaves you really far away from the opponent. That's actually just fine for Jax and Katana, because get this, you can throw projectiles to avoid the ground smash. And what this does is actually create a very hard to escape situation for your opponent, because if they dodge the ground pound, they get hit by the fan. And in fact, if timed correctly, you can get both, right? The ground pound and the projectile. But the point is, Katana has so many ways of occupying the air, so if the opponent tries to jump and avoid the ground smash, then they'll just get hit by the fan instead, because Katana has like 5 different fan options to occupy the sky. And keep in mind, the fan lift leads to a full combo even when done in the air, so yeah, the opponent tries to escape the ground pound only to get launched for a full combo anyway. It's quite epic, not gonna lie. Or in other words, even when really far away, almost at full screen, Katana is fantastic fantastic at zoning thanks to Jax, because he forces the opponent to jump and her fan toss leaves her in the air. And even though all these unblockables are amazing, don't forget that Jax can do an amplified throw, and if you spin 2 bars, it does 21% damage for a throw. So yeah, this team is all about the unblockables, and that includes the forward throw. And speaking of throws, it's time to talk about the corner setups, because that's when Katana and Jax become the most unfair duo in the entire game. I'm talking set play, 2 combos and the opponent is dead. That's right, we're talking 50% combos for no meter, and then 60% combos if you want to spin the bar. It gets really crazy. But then on top of that, it's the setups that make this team really filthy. And it's all thanks to this move right here. By itself, Wind Bomb is not that terrifying. In fact, it's not even a mix-up. It hits mid, and on top of that, the startup is long too, right? It takes Katana forever to set up the Wind Bomb. And as a result, even if you do launch the opponent, it's not the easiest thing to set up because you just don't have that much time. Look at that, he's already up before the Wind Bomb's even on screen. He can hit me. But that's where Jax comes in. His backbreaker is perfect for setting up the Wind Bomb, and that's for 2 reasons. Reason number 1 is he keeps the opponent in the air for a while, so of course you have time to set it up. But then on top of that, it's the timing. You see, unlike a sweep and other knockdowns, the opponent can't get up right away from the backbreaker. They're stuck in a different animation and can't get up right away. And as a result, even if you do a really long combo and then end with backbreaker, you still have more than enough time to set up the Wind Bomb. And that's what makes Jax and Katana such a magical duo. But you might be wondering, what's the big deal, underdog? Wind Bomb's not even a mix-up, so who cares if it's on screen? I can just block it. Well, that's where you're wrong, kiddo. Because right when you get up, I'm gonna throw you and then activate the Wind Bomb. Yes, we both get knocked down, but I think you know what comes next. I'm gonna dash in and keep the combo going before you can hit the ground. I'm gonna tell Reptile to block high, and just look what happens on wake up. Once again, Reptile is blocking, keep that in mind. Set up, throw, and boom, baby, they still get launched for a full combo. It did not matter the Reptile's blocking because throws are unblockable. They even hit crouch blockers. And right now you might be thinking, well, if block doesn't work, then I'll just jump. Nope, that's not going to work either. The Wind Bomb will catch you. Well, okay, if blocking doesn't work and I can't jump, then I'll just armor my way out. Surely that's going to be okay. Nope, that doesn't work either because the throw and the bomb hit immediately, and 2 hits beat armor in this game. But just in case you don't believe me, I'm going to tell Reptile to do enhanced death roll because that's his armored wake up, and just look what happens. I don't think so, baby. Get launched for a full combo. Once again, it's 2 hits back to back, and that breaks armor in this game, unless your opponent is Havoc. But what about the combos, underdog? Can I please see some awesome corner combos? You got it. Here's the first combo. It's a bit easier, but still does great damage and leads right into the Wind Bomb setup. Now next up we have the tricky combo. The timing on this one is not easy. In fact, you can actually get a bit more damage, but that combo is so tough that I don't even recommend it, especially online. This combo on screen is already tricky enough and still does great damage for no meter and leads right into the Wind Bomb setup. And then once that Wind Bomb is on screen, walk forward, throw them as soon as they get up, and get ready for the follow-up combo. And once the opponent gets launched, here's the combo I want you to do. If you put both these combos together, that's around 70% damage for just 1 bar of meter, which is crazy. Keep in mind that these combos last so long that by the time you're done, Jax is already good to go again. Or in other words, these setups will just keep working. But okay, here comes the craziest part. Don't forget about the unblockable setups that I showed you earlier. You can use these to go into backbreaker and then set up the Wind Bomb, and the whole thing starts over again. That's right, not only does Katana have crazy combo damage in the corner and a ridiculous setup that almost guarantees more combos, but on top of that, you can mix and match the other unblockable setups that I showed you earlier. This team is crazy in the corner. But okay, here's the part of the video where I'm fair and show you how to escape this, because there is an option, and unfortunately, it's a pretty easy option. If you're Reptile in this scenario, or you're the opponent, and I do a combo, end with backbreaker, and then go for the Wind Bomb, all you have to do is delayed wake up. That's right, just hold left trigger on the ground to get up a bit later, and you'll avoid the setup. It really is that easy. But with that being said, you're still in the corner, and Katana's not punishable or anything. She still has frame advantage, so it's not a great scenario. You're still stuck in the corner. And that's why, as the Katana player, you should still go for the Wind Bomb setups, because even if they fail, it's still your turn, and the opponent's still cornered. And then finally, to end this video, it's worth mentioning that Jax isn't just for setups. He also gives Katana some pretty swaggy combos that do decent damage for no meter at all. And even even though Scorpion and other partners can give you more damage with Katana, they don't give you the crazy, unfair, unblockable setups. And as a result, I still think Jax and Katana are a very good pair. In fact, they might be the most unfair team up in the game at the casual level. And when I say casual, I mean everybody who doesn't study the game actively online, right? Anybody who just goes online to play and have a good time and get better, but doesn't do the research, I think Katana and Jax are a nightmare for them. Because once again, you have the unblockable setups that are very tricky to avoid, you have the insane corner vortex, and the ridiculous combo damage in the corner too. It's just crazy. So as you can see, I wasn't joking when I said Katana and Jax are an extremely unfair team in Mortal Kombat 1. These unblockable setups are simply ridiculous. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like down below, it helps the channel out a ton. And then keep that combo going by subscribing and ringing that bell so you never miss any future videos. Make sure to come back next time, and as always, stay underdogs.